Oh man. ah, if people could have seen what had happened
Right.
5 minutes ago in order to get you on this podcast.
Just think about it. A second ago, you were like, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" I'm
yeah.
like,
Oh my gosh, it's Saturday. Welcome to Body by Molly Freeberg podcast. I have an exciting guest here. I'm so excited to talk to Ty Jackson. You are a spiritual advisor, tarot reader, and I would just love to get to know you a little bit, see how you got started, and yeah, go from there. Boy, I swear we had some bloopers, y'all.
yes, we did. We should have recorded them so when we're famous, people could see the before they were famous bloopers.
Right. And we're human beings. So
hmm
there's that.
hmm
So so yeah. So my editor found you. She was networking, and I was always curious about intuition and how I can tap into that personally. And then she had mentioned to me, hey, we can try to interview a tarot reader. So I wanted to get to know you a little bit. This is exciting.
It's
So,
very exciting. It's very
oh
exciting.
my gosh. Okay, so where are we talking from? I'm in Oklahoma. Where are you from?
I am in New Jersey.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
I
New
am in
Jersey.
the frigid, cold, and gray New Jersey.
Yes. Is it snowing?
We got snow this morning, but actually it was a beautiful coating of snow. It wasn't the annoying
Okay.
snow that causes inconvenience. It was beautiful. It was like a wonderland snow that we got this morning.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it was meant for us to do this podcast.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. So yeah, I was actually you do live feeds too. So we'll
Yes.
talk about all that as well. I did, I started to look at it and then I thought to myself, why don't I just I don't want to be influenced at all. I want to just talk to you like
Yeah.
candidly, and I'll
Yeah.
definitely look at that. So, all right. So we're gonna get started. And I wanted to okay, so girl, how do you even get started in something like this? And just introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your name and your go-to.
Yeah.
So here you go.
So
I'm gonna put myself
good
in front.
morning. Good Saturday morning. It's such a blessing to be here. So exciting to be here in front of people that I've never met before. I'm always excited for this opportunity. And gosh, how does a person get started being intuitive? The truth of the matter is that this is just the person that I've always been. I've always been an intuitive soul. I've always had just this kind of knowing, but the knowing that I've had was always about myself. This idea that I was meant for something great or that I could do great things. So, believe it or not, that was the intuition, especially when I consider my surroundings, the way I grew up. So, I like to say I'm Ty Jackson. I'm an 80s baby with a curious spirit on a mission to help the world uh, elevate and
Love
evolve
that.
and transform. And I love to mention the fact that I'm an 80s baby because that means that I grew up in the 80s and I'm in the East Coast. So that means the crack era. So I think that's important for people to know when they consider what I had to come through and who I get to be this day today, to still this very spiritual person, this very peaceful person, this very positive person. So my journey towards embracing my intuition or embracing who I am all came as the
Yes.
result of a spiritual awakening.
Oh, I love it.
So,
But you know what? I gotta stop you for a minute because
uh,
I literally you just mentioned the crack error. Did you
yeah,
know this is a trip? I literally watched the documentary like 3 days ago, and it was
hmm
about the era of like crack and well,
yeah,
cocaine and then how crack got started. And
hmm
it's just funny that you mentioned that, like because I literally was watching that and it was so powerful. And then yes,
yeah,
I'm familiar with the 80s as
yeah.
no. Ugh. Okay, we're good. I got muted. Can you
You
hear
said you
me?
got me. Yeah, I was like, what's
What is going on? But go
right?
ahead. I'm sorry.
So, and I love that because, you said that you didn't want to look at my feed, my live, because you wanted to get to know me. And turns out you know more about me than you already know. If you have any idea of the crack era, then, that gives you a pretty good insight into my upbringing and kind of the traumas that were faced and just the conditions. And, those really, uh, not cultivate, they really influence the adult that you become. So that's why I love to say that, hey, I'm an 80s baby. So, I've come through a lot, and this is here, and this is where I am. So I love the fact that I like to call that synchronicity. That really is synchronicity. And that really
Yeah.
confirms even more that we are where we need to be and we are having the conversation that we need to have. So
Yeah.
because you muted yourself, I don't know if there was a question in there that needed to be answered, or if
No,
you
I
want
think
me
I
to.
got No, I think I got it, but I liked what you said, and I am just fascinated by you. And I liked we did a briefing last week and just chatted for a little bit. A lot of people, from my experience, seem to be torn, like a torn between like what they really want internally, and that the outside exterior of the world can do like a blockage
Mhm.
for their overall healing. Have you noticed
Yeah.
that as well from your experience?
Yes, it's the duality that we live in. We have this reality that we want on the inside, and we have this reality that we live on the outside. But the truth of the matter is, the block is not outside, the block is in, because we're creating this world from the inside out. So, where we think the world is holding us back, the world is prohibiting us, or we are being conditioned, the truth is, it's really us that's holding us back. And that is really why I do this work, is so
Ooh,
that
say
people
that
can understand
again.
that
Oh.
it's a matter of the moment that we assume that there's something on the outside of us that is in any way controlling us, we're giving away
Yeah.
our power. And then we're not being who we truly are. And
Well, who
again, that
are
is
we?
why we are
Ooh.
divine, limitless, magical beings who can do, be, see, and create anything
Mm,
that we want.
that's
And that is
right.
the absolute truth. And this is the truth that I want to spread, because once upon a time I was so disempowered because I believed that I can't do this, I can't do this, I can't, because society says I can't do this, because I grew up this way, or because I was born into poverty, or because I'm a woman, or because
Right.
I'm black. These were all blocks and beliefs that I believed, and because I believed it, it manifested to be true. And
Oh my goodness.
yeah,
No, because you said, remember I spoke with you last a couple days ago about this podcast that I watch, and I also agree with that, where we are in control of our mindset. What we put
yeah,
out into the world, we can actually it could be a positive or negative. So when you said
yeah,
that, that hit home. Yeah.
yeah. You know, it's and that's the truth, and that's the truth that people don't know. And this funny thing that I love to say, why, people say it's lonely at the top. It's
Mm.
lonely at the top because most people don't believe that they can get to the top, so they don't shoot for the top. They shoot for
Oh,
what they believe that they are capable of. Everything that
wow.
we see, whenever you see somebody, whether they're at a job, whether whatever they're doing, it's directly correlated with what they believe they can do.
Mm.
Our great superstars in the world, they wouldn't be superstars if they did not believe in their ability to be who they are. That is literally the only difference between, say, me and Beyonce. She believes that she's this
Yeah.
great entertainer. And so
Right.
because she believes she's this great entertainer, she will not
Mhm.
accept anything less. And that's the reality that she manifests for herself. Think about the
Right.
people who are like, I can't do this, I can't do this. And their reality reflects that they can't do that. But it's all belief,
Right.
and this journey is really about unlearning everything that we've been taught so that we can really step into the power of who we truly are.
And I like what you said there. I was gonna just piggyback off that because you said it's about a belief. At the same time, you know how you mentioned the '80s era and the poverty and the crack era, and family dynamics plays a role
Mhm.
in that too. So, like, say if you have a family that's not really supporting you, how can you get ahead sometimes? So the influence of others can trickle and manifest as well. So that's why I like what you said, because we cannot allow other people or outside sources to affect us, even if it's family dynamics or, but it does.
It does.
I mean, it does. So
Right. So, what I would say to that is because, I come from a big family. I have four sisters and two brothers. There's seven of us. I am the only one who is on this journey. I am the only one who stands up and claims I'm a psychic, I'm a tarot reader, I'm a spiritual person because it takes a lot of courage.
mm,
And second of all, I realize that this is my life and my journey, and my life and my journey is not the same as my siblings. It's not
right.
the same as anyone else's. So I can't allow anyone's judgment to stop me from being great, because that was when I decided to step out as a spiritual person. I was afraid about what would people say. What would people who I worked with when I was a bartender say? They know me from my
Yeah.
wildest days. What would
Okay.
anyone who knew me before say? And then I had
Yeah.
to ask, am I willing to uh, put my dreams aside because of what other people say? Am I willing to
Okay.
sacrifice my happiness for other people's beliefs, for other
Love it.
people's judgments? And then what I
Right.
realized was I said to myself everything that what I was afraid people would judge me for. And then I
Right.
realized those were not their judgments, those were my judgments of myself. And
Wow.
I'm not going to let anyone on the outside, and I was not going to let
Right.
myself on the inside stop me from being this person that I just wanted to be, from expressing my truth, from owning my power. And I stepped into this energy, into my power, only to realize people don't even care. you know, they don't think. All of these
Uh-huh.
people who I feared would judge me would be the
Yeah.
people who were in my inbox. They're like, I'm loving this new tie. I'm
It's
loving the new
awesome.
tie, because it's
Talk
coming
about
from a
it,
good place.
yeah. So talk
It's
about
coming from a
that.
place of love.
Right. Now, okay, so a live feed, a reading, tarot reading. I kind of want you to do mine, but I'm like, okay, how do I do that? But can you
Yeah,
talk about before we do it? Look at me getting nervous. But
mhm.
before we do that, like, did you just practice on family? How did that work? Like, how did you even get started in that in the like the very beginning?
I love these interviews because it's so self-reflective for me, because I'm always brought back to the beginning of where something started. And it reminds me of how far I came. So I started with tarot. Now, I was never really into spirituality, and we say this was 4 years ago. I was never really into spirituality or tarot or anything like that. So my sister, she was with a friend, and she did a favor for a friend, and a friend said, "Hey, for this favor, I want to get you a tarot reading." And my sister was just kind of like, okay, So she went and got this tarot reading, and she came back and she told me all of these magnificent things that were said. And one of the things that was said to her was, the reader told her, I shouldn't be doing this for you. You have these same powers that I have. And that stuck with me. I was like, hmm. So I remember saying to my sister, well, if you have this,
Wow.
did you ever think any more about what she said to you about your ability to do that? She was just kind of like, oh no, and really,
Uh-huh.
but that stuck with me. It really
Wow.
stuck with me. So I remember buying a tarot deck. So after that, I got really into tarot, but I had never sought out a reading. I would just like watch readings on YouTube all the time.
Uh,
And
uh-huh.
so I decided I'm going to get a reading. And I met with a reader, and she was expensive at the time. But
Uh-huh.
I had been watching her, so I built so much trust for her and her craft. And when I spoke with her for 20 minutes, and she said, "You're going to do what I'm doing," and I was
Wow.
like, "You're going to do what I'm doing, and you're going to help a lot of people." And so I was like,
Oh.
So I went and bought a tarot deck. So when I looked at
Intuition. She knew.
she knew. So I got my tarot deck and I didn't know anything. I looked at the cards, I read the meanings. I was not connecting to them at all. But I kept in my mind that she said, "You're going to do what I do." So I just put the tarot to the side and then let life start to, again, I think I had told you, I made a decision, even though I wasn't able to read the tarot. I internally made a decision that I'm going to change my life because I was not happy. I was not happy at my job. I was not happy in my relationship. And everything on the outside looked great. The relationship
Right.
looked great. I had a job, financial stability, a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful townhome that I still think about that place, the fireplace. And,
Oh.
but it didn't make me happy.
Mm.
I was so unfulfilled, and I was so dealing with the monotony of everyday
Yeah.
life. And I
Life.
internally made a decision that I want to be one of those people who say, I wake up every day and do what I love.
Hmm.
And I said, I wanted to be one of those people. And then life was turned upside down. And and the turning of my life being turned upside down, leaving my job, leaving the relationship, I was 38 at the time, taking my two children and just leaving, with not much of anything. A 38-year-old single mom of two kids,
Yep.
starting over. That is
People
so
can relate.
scary.
Yeah.
That was so scary. And but I did it, even though I was very afraid. So in this journey of transitioning, I came across I had my tarot deck. I still was into the tarot, and I would carry my tarot deck around. And I came across another girl at a hotel that I was at, and she was like, "Do you read tarot?" And I was like, "I'm trying." I said, "But not really. It's not really connecting." And so she was like, "Oh, here, I can read for you." And she started to read my cards, and instantly I knew she was the real deal because I had been in love with tarot. I had been watching readers on YouTube. I had gotten readings myself, and I was like, oh, she is the real deal. So we
Awesome.
Yes, so we just started this practice of every day of, we weren't even trying to teach me tarot. We were just having fun because of the information we were getting from the tarot. It was just
Wow.
fun. And she would read for people all the time, and it would be so accurate. And I got this understanding of the cards. And what I didn't know, I know now, is I was building a connection with my deck. So then one
Wow.
day, this
Uh-huh.
guy was like, read for me. And I was just like, I had never read any for anybody. I didn't have the confidence. And I was like, I don't really do this. He was like, oh, he thought I was joking. He said, sure you do. And so I was just like, okay. So I started reading the cards. But what I noticed was that for some reason, I was able to intuitively pick up information. So when you do tarot, the cards have a meaning. If you learn the meaning of each card just based on the book, you would be able to read tarot because of the energy. But I realized that I was picking up something totally different from the cards, something so much more, something so much deeper. And I was giving this guy this read, and he was like, why would you tell me you don't know how to read this tarot if you do? And at the time, I had no idea. I was picking up on so much information. He had even had a friend who had just passed away, and I was picking up information on this person based on these cards. And I just remember that night after that happened thinking, oh my goodness, I really read this guy's tarot. Oh my
That's
goodness. And
so
so
awesome.
it was. So for me, it was an ability, that intuition that I said that was always there, but I needed to learn to, you need to hone this ability. It's like you
Right.
could be a great basketball player, but you still need to practice and have a coach. And I needed
Right.
to trust it and build that confidence. So once I seen that I had this ability, then I started to read for all of my family members. But then I realized that it gets really personal, when you're
Yeah.
reading for family, because you get very, very, in depth of what's going on. And I realized that it would get a little bit too personal. Not everybody is, yeah, you're my sister, but I don't need you knowing, all of that about me. So, but I was just so fascinated with the fact that I had this ability, and I always rung in the back of my mind the reader who said, you're going to do what I'm going to do,
That's so
So
awesome.
I had this ability to read the cards. And at the time, I was studying to be a coach, but I didn't know how I helped people. So I had the talent, I had the ability, I had the desire to be of service. And then, you know, it just all started to come together to understand this is how I serve people. I help them to uncover these energetic roadblocks, these limiting beliefs, because that's what they are that stop them from stepping into their power. It's from expressing their potential. That's all it is. And the tarot allows me to kind of, get a peek at your subconscious, kind of look past your ego and what
Ooh.
expressed to the outside world to see
Uh-huh.
what are you really believing? What are you really saying to yourself? What traumas or obstacles or roadblocks did you deal with in your past that are still hindering you from moving forward? And I'm like, this is so exciting because in the process, I get to be this magical person, and that's what it is. It's the intuition that gives me these answers, but then also the intuition is me trusting my hunches and trusting
Right.
these connections we make, trusting when your editor reaches out and says, hey, I want to do an interview, because not everybody you interview is meant to share your energy, or
Right.
it's not meant to be in your presence. But understanding when I meet with certain people and that feeling that I feel that says, yes, do this, then I
Right.
go with it. And then there's also that feeling that says, I'm not too sure about this. That's a no, and learning to trust those and always follow those. Do I get it right 100% of the time? Of course not, because then my journey would be over and there would be no more fun. But the
Right.
more and more I trust it, the more and more I engage in these intuitive sessions, the stronger it gets. And the more I'm not only able to help myself, I'm able to help other people and,
Right.
be in my purpose and make the world a better place.
I love that because when you said magical, thank you so much for being candid and sharing, first of
Yeah.
all. And when you said magical, your magical self, I feel
Hmm.
like a lot of people can, in my opinion, can really tap into that, but we are afraid. We are
Yeah.
afraid of the unknown.
Everybody can tap into it. Everyone. Well, we've been conditioned to be afraid of it. We've been conditioned to trust outside of ourselves instead of inside of ourselves. Because imagine, there's plenty of things I can say where, like, I don't feel like that. I don't think that's a good idea. And people, it's so easy for people to discount your feelings or discount what you say because there is no outside proof of it. Think,
Right.
especially think, women in relationships. We know our men, our intuition tells us you're
Oh my
not
gosh.
telling the truth. And then they will argue us down. Imagine this, someone telling you, trust me, don't trust yourself,
Right.
you know,
Right.
and that's what happens in this world that we live in. We're taught to trust others and not trust ourselves. But
Uh-huh.
it creates the
No.
journey for us because
I'm
the journey
smiling.
to
I'm
trusting
sorry.
ourselves.
Yes, right. And I like when you mention relationship. Look what I'm holding. Is it backwards?
It's upside
No.
down, love.
This I want to talk about this. Wait, there we go. That says love.
Yeah.
But we could do it with the reading because you said relationships and we mentioned that, and I feel like a lot of people we want this. Whatever. What does this? God dang. Where there we go. What
Mm.
does that mean? Love. It says love for the audio. When I do
Yeah.
my podcast on audio, it's a pillow that I bought with love, but I think I'm a secretly hopeless romantic. Shh, don't tell nobody.
Let me
Oh,
tell you, it
so we'll
it
talk.
goes, it's very in sync then, and very, because this morning, my there's always an intention I set for the day, and my intention is to, I'm a hopeless romantic too. I want to be in a relationship. I'm single as well, so just the
Right,
fact that that is your
right.
area of interest, it makes sense to me why, again, this morning. And there's always things I want to focus on, but today I'm like, the focus is just to be open to receive
Yes,
romantic
all kinds of
love. That's
love.
literally,
All
I
kinds of
am.
love. Okay, so wait, where are we at? I want to see if we could do a quick little 5-10 minute. I don't know
Ooh,
how would I even get this on the Facebook. I have no idea, but we could do it here. The little reading or something, a
yeah,
tarot reading.
yes. So usually. I do two things, before reading. I either want to know, some people come in and they already have things that they want to find out about or things they want to explore. So, or sometimes they don't know, so I'll just say, well, we'll see what spirit thinks you need to know most in this moment. So, but I would love if you have a specific area that you want to direct our attention. I would love, love, love to do that. Or if we want to see what love, yes, I knew it was going to be love. You saw the spark right there. So,
I mean, I don't even know if
right.
I have it in me to be that,
Of course
I
you do.
no, I don't even know if I want it.
Of course you do. You have what man would not be lucky to be in this beautiful energy of yours? A man would be lucky to be in
I'm
this
touching my
beautiful
hair, y'all, on
energy
audio.
of yours.
Sorry.
So,
Yeah.
we're on audio.
No, I do a audio and a video. So those that are
Okay, for
listening
those in
on
audio.
audio, I was telling them, I'm like, like looking at my
Oh, on
hair, like,
audio.
okay,
Yeah, she is beautiful. That
yeah,
energy needs
no,
to be shared.
but I
And
ain't ready. So, but,
yeah, it's true.
but
Let's see. All right. So we're going to
so
see what now. Again, we'll leave it in. And I use this beautiful, I love this tarot deck. This is my Light Seers deck. And this is my deck that I use for when I'm reading for other people, because I have my own personal deck and it's so in tune with my energy that sometimes I'm trying to read for other people and it's only telling me about myself. So I like to show
oh
off this
wow.
beautiful deck and these beautiful colors. So
Awesome.
let me see. Let's see.
Do you need to know anything about me right quick? I
No,
mean,
Mm-mm. We will
okay.
find out everything that we need to know.
Okay, I'm scared now, y'all. Audience,
no, don't be,
hold
don't,
tight.
This is going to tell us about love because and another thing is what my intuition is me listening to what people say. So
Uh-huh.
I'm wondering why you say you're not ready. There will never be a perfect time. It's like having kids. It's never a perfect. I'm not
Ah.
ready for kids yet. I have a 7-year-old and a 9-year-old. So it never.
Right, right, right. Good point. Good point. Good point. Good point. So I'm going to keep myself off mute since we're doing this quick little reading.
Yes,
So this is awesome. It's a beautiful day.
it is a beautiful day. So.
Energy space together via
Oh,
audio and video.
the very first card that I pulled for you is the strength card, right? So you see
Okay.
this woman in the strength card. She's like half lion and half woman, and that gives me a balance. So your energies are very very balanced. But what happens is that you are more in this strong masculine energy, and it's this
Oh
of being vulnerable.
my.
You have a fear of being vulnerable and allowing yourself to be submissive, and it's because you've been heartbroken before. With Three of Swords, it's because you've been heartbroken before, and what happens is you're a very loving person. I would say that when you get in a relationship, you wear your heart on your sleeve. You're very all in. So you're that's this idea. There's a fear. Even when you said, I don't know if I want to, it's because of this fear that you have of getting your heart broken. You have this fear of getting your heart broken and this fear of allowing yourself to be exposed. This is the moon card. Allowing
Okay.
yourself to be exposed, allowing yourself to be seen. And I feel like
Right.
you feel like there is a compromise that you have to make if you get into a loving relationship, almost like you have to compromise certain parts of yourself to be in a relationship.
Stop.
So
Ding, ding,
like,
ding. Where's the ding, ding button? I wish I
right.
had it.
But it's because you're so
All right.
balanced. But that this balance that you have works when you're single and when you're by yourself, because you need to be able to tap into your masculine energies, tap into your feminine energies. You need to be able to do that because you're running a
I'm
business.
laughing. I'm
You're
laughing.
running a business. You need to be able to do that when
Right.
you're running your business, but understand you can still be that way in a relationship. Because again, I'm a woman. I have to be in my masculine energy when I'm running a business. But when I'm in a relationship, I don't want I don't want any of my masculine energy to come up. I want to be relaxed. I want to be open to receive. I want to be
How do
I
you
want to
do
be
that?
submissive because we're the feminine energy. But that's another thing for you because you're such a go-getter that you have a hard time laying back and receiving. You have to be as open to receive as you are to give. You don't have to always give on you. Look at this, the Ace of Pentacles.
What?
Now, the way I pull cards, I just keep pulling them and pulling them and pulling them.
Uh-huh.
And
I don't know. I can't see it.
this card is the Ace of Pentacles. And
Okay.
again, the meanings of the cards mean one thing. Usually, I get two things from this. First of all, I'm getting a lot of financial abundance and coming your way. So I don't know if finances is always something that we're always focused on. But what I see is that you give, right? But you have
Mhm.
to be open to receive because I see giving out. And how do you give love in? How do you give yourself love? I know you do your working out, which is, I love that because that is such a form of self love. When I'm like doing my workouts, I'm like, I'm doing this because I love myself. I'm doing this because I love my body. And I'm doing this because I want to have a hot body when I meet a hot guy.
Yes. That
So,
too.
yeah,
Well, okay. My dog is
right.
not
But
barking
you
right
know, we're
now.
talking about love. So let's be honest and candid about it. But you have to embrace that softer side, that vulnerable side, because that is what the right man for you is going to want. And that is what we want: a masculine man. We want a man who is a protector. We want a man who is a provider. So that allows us to be the feminine spiritual beings that we are. I like to say, when I'm with my man, the way he protects me is if we go out, he physically protects me from any harm. As a
Wow.
spiritual
Love
woman,
it.
way that I
Yep.
protect my man is when he's going out into the world, I'm like, hey, I don't get a good idea about that guy that you're doing business with. Watch out for him. You know, that's how we protect each other is that balance and understanding the roles that we get to play in these relationships and embracing that soft, vulnerable, open person that you're afraid to be in a relationship because you're scared to get hurt. That's who you're
Yeah.
supposed to be.
Wow.
That's who you're
That's deep.
supposed to be. And
Wow.
getting hurt is okay. It's okay to get hurt. We learn something. When we get hurt, we learn like
Yeah.
we get hurt in a relationship, we learn like, oh, now I know that that is not the type of man that I want to be with. Oh, now I know that that is the red flag. Yeah, I'm hurt, but I'm stronger because now I would never go after a man that has those kind of qualities. I would never go after a man who speaks that way. It's a learning
Uh-huh.
experience, you know,
That
and
was awesome.
yeah, and this card I just pulled, you're the queen of wands. You are so creative. You have such a light in you and such a fire in you. And that is what I need you to see about you. You need to see that what, and this is the thing that we don't see sometimes what guys
Right.
see about us. You know, the beauty, the fire, the passion. I was looking at your bodybuilding pictures and I'm just like, this woman is amazing.
I
So
appreciate it. But
strong.
yeah, okay, enough about me. No, we're good. Look it, I'll take
Oh,
it
no,
back. I'll take it.
come on. But this is what you
Yeah.
need to
No.
know because
Yeah.
this is how we draw in our partner. We have to
Okay.
embrace these aspects of ourselves too. You have to embrace that too. You have to say, yes, I'm strong. And, you know, I'll put you in a headlight, but I am
Right,
so
right.
strong. I am so feminine. I am so beautiful. I'm both. That first
Okay.
card that we pulled was the strength. You're both, but you
Okay.
sit more in this masculine energy, in
That's
this
very true.
strong energy, and this dominant energy. And guess what
Right.
you attract when you're like that, you're gonna attract a feminine man who is not strong enough for you, who cannot provide
Well,
for you, and won't
y
allow you to feel vulnerable. So
right,
it's okay to be the strong when you need to be. But when it's
right.
time to kick back and be loving and be
Yeah.
open, you can be both of those things. It's not one or the other.
Okay, I gotta shout out to my ex right quick. I hope he hears this because 20 plus years, and I will say that he was a strong man. But I, at the time, and I'm just gonna share was like, oh no, like it's like we're bumping heads or
Yeah.
something. So shout out to him because now we are really, really close and like we've grown. We're not ever getting back together. No. But the fact of that, I realize maybe it was not him, but he was part of my journey of growing that, hey, I deserve someone who's strong man that I have to let down my guard. So I wasn't ready at the time. So but I just want to bring that out.
And and
My
you know
ex.
what I want to say to you when because I've had to learn to be soft again because in my relationship it was toxic. So I was never able, I had to be in my masculine energy because I was always in this fight or flight. So I wasn't able to relax into my soft feminine energy. And what I want to tell you is that it's so relaxing. It's so peaceful to get what we deserve. We're women, we're empresses, we're goddesses, we're queens. You know, think about Cleopatra. She's sitting on her throne and she has people coming to bring her food. She has people fanning her, people who come to entertain her.
Right.
We're women.
Right.
That is how it's
Okay.
supposed to be.
I
She's not
love it.
like, I can cook my own food. Put that fan.
Right.
She's
That's
supposed to
Cleopatra. She
receive the
right.
praise that she deserves. And that
All
is
right.
what we deserve as feminine women. So, yes.
Yes, ma'am. Now look, all right. Thank you for that quick little reading. That was awesome. I love it. And you hit home like you don't even know. I mean,
Right.
you do know.
I know. Right.
But okay, if we have anything, so we're gonna wind it down
Mhm.
here. But I just wanted to say, if you wanted to share anything to our listeners and viewers that they could take away from this, give me two things. What you think?
So the biggest thing, I will say it until the end of the year, is that 2024 is the year of abundance. 8 in numerology is abundance. It represents abundance. So that means that this is everyone's opportunity to step into the energy of prosperity and abundance. This is your time to start something new. This is your time to, if you've been working hard, putting in a lot of work over the past few years, and you feel like you have not seen the fruits of your labor, this is the time where you will start to see the fruits of your labor. And I just want to encourage everyone to step into their power. Understand that we are absolutely limitless. And it
Wow.
sounds cliche. One thing I've learned on this journey is that cliches are so true. We already have everything that we need inside of us. I know it sounds like a cliche, but it's so true because there was nothing outside of me that facilitated the transformation that I went through. It was me, and it was all
Wow.
up to me. So this is your year. If you're listening, if you're watching, this is your year. This is
Yes.
your year. And
And
have
mhm.
everything you need inside of you already to make this your year.
The cliches that you mentioned, they actually it manifests. Everything is a full circle. So they can fight it if they want, or me included sometimes. But you're right. Everything it always brings the circle of life. Like it just repeats. So we need to just believe in that. It's so hard,
And
but
it is, you know
we
what?
fight it.
That's why it's a journey. That's why it's a journey and a never-ending journey because we're always uncovering new things. And I'm 41 years old. Anything that comes up for me now, any belief I want to change, I got 41 years of believing that I have to combat. So be easy on ourselves too. Be easy on ourselves because we have a lifetime of conditioning that we're trying to change and unbelieve.
Wow, you said be easy on ourselves. I got to end with that because that's it right there. Be easy on ourselves.
Yeah.
We're always in go, 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 go. So be easy on ourselves. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for
It
having
was
me.
so
This was so fun.
beautiful. Oh, okay. So I'm also going to put in the link of where we can find you as well. But if you wanted to do a quick little, like, where could one find you on Facebook? Did you want to share
Yes,
about your link?
yes, guys, you can find me on Facebook, Ty Jackson. Very simple, Ty Jackson on Facebook. You can also find me on Instagram. I'm intuitively underscore Ty on Instagram. And if you are interested in getting a reading or having a session with me, you can find me on one of those sites, or you can email me at Jackson Tyesha, Tyeisha @gmail.com. And the last thing that I will say is live on Facebook on Sundays, I do Intuitive Talk with Ty, where I do live card pulls and just question and answers. And it's a very safe and sacred space where you can come and be vulnerable and get the answers to your spiritual questions and mingle with other spiritual, like-minded people who are on this never-ending journey of growth and transformation as well.
I love it. What time on Sunday?
Oh, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And
Okay.
live on Facebook, but the recording is always there on Facebook. So if you can't catch it because of your time zone, the recording is always there so you can catch it the next day.
I'm gonna get on it. I'm gonna get on it this Sunday after work. I
Yes,
want to get on it.
yes,
So,
come on
are,
in.
are- and I want you on my YouTube channel. I gotta do a live. I want you to do a reading on my YouTube
Sure,
channel.
sure, of course.
That'll be great.
Sure.
And
And
we'll talk about, because nothing's usually free in this world. We
right,
all want to just our business. So
right.
we'll definitely talk about that because I hope that you get some type of manifestation or, help with that because you're doing something of service to others. So,
Yeah.
donations or however you do it,
Yes.
help you
You
out.
know, I learned that especially when we're first starting out in our business, sometimes we got to put in the footwork, and whether people give donations or not, the universe will reward me for walking in my purpose and doing it on purpose.
Okay. Wait, on that note, I love it. Thank you for joining me in this week's episode of Transformations with Molly Freeberg Podcast, Health and Wellness. I want to thank Ty Jackson. That was so exciting to interview her and touch bases with her and find out about how she got started and the little reading she did for me too. That was like amazing as well. And, we really appreciate you all having an open mind to things of that nature. So remember, you can check out her on Facebook, and we will send a link as well in the description box, Ty Jackson. And you can find me also on all audio and social media platforms, Body by Molly, Molly's Gym, MALI. And for more information on how to stay fit and healthy. And remember that I'm Molly J. Cox, striving to live a more balanced lifestyle. And as my father used to say, to help bring good into the world, discover wellness. See you next time.